Vermilion Cliffs National Monument is one of Arizona's best treasures. This park is a vast, unspoiled wilderness that covers 280,000 acres in northern Arizona. Coyote Buttes and the Vermilion Cliffs create unique vistas that leave visitors astonished. Beautiful landmarks like the Wave and White Pocket have also added to the monument's popularity. But with all of its beauty, the park is also remote and difficult to access, so many hopeful visitors don't know where to begin. In this video, we'll provide details about Vermilion Cliffs National Monument. We'll explain a little bit about the park and some of its hazards. We'll also explain the permit process for Coyote Buttes. On top of that, I spoke to a BLM worker about the Wave, and he provided a couple insights into the lottery, so stick around for that. Many visitors expect to be able to hike Coyote Buttes North and the Wave while they're visiting the area, but unfortunately that's not always possible, since it is a lottery-based hike. But White Pocket and Coyote Buttes South provide great backup options, so keep that in mind. Remember to prepare properly before venturing into Vermilion Cliffs. This means checking the weather, checking the road conditions, filling up the gas tank, having a map and compass, and bringing plenty of food and water. This national monument is fun, but it can also be dangerous if you're not prepared. Vermilion Cliffs National Monument is located in northern Arizona, and it's part of the Grand Staircase. The Grand Staircase is a set of 5 rock layers that spread across northern Arizona and southern Utah. The Vermilion Cliffs are the second step in the Grand Staircase. So Vermilion Cliffs National Monument was established to protect the area. This national monument isn't like others. Vermilion Cliffs doesn't have a visitor center, there's not a gift shop, there are no amenities, and there are no restaurants. There's also no access to water. The monument has a couple vault toilets, but not at White Pocket or Coyote Buttes South, so plan accordingly. The monument has trails, but the trails are not well marked, or marked at all in some cases. Many of its roads are not well kept, making it difficult to access trailheads. Visitors can enter the monument from the north, through Grand Staircase Escalante in Utah. But the main entrance is to the south, just off 89A, and the Vermilion Cliffs Scenic Highway. This road stretches 277 miles from St. George, Utah, into northern Arizona, with the road's most scenic views arriving as you approach the Vermilion Cliffs. From the highway, I turned north onto House Rock Road and headed to my first hike, White Pocket. House Rock Road is much easier to drive than its northern counterpart, House Rock Valley Road, but we'll get to that soon. House Rock Road is a relatively well-kept dirt road. The roads to White Pocket and Coyote Buttes South, on the other hand, are not well-kept. These roads have uneven, rocky terrain. They have wide, muddy ruts and deep, loose sand. Visitors will need 4-wheel drive and high clearance to reach these trailheads. I did it with all-wheel drive, but I had a few close calls. Also, cell service is almost non-existent in the park, so help would have been hard to find. In other words, don't get stuck, because you might be waiting for a while. Vermilion Cliffs National Monument has 3 main day hikes: Coyote Buttes North, Coyote Buttes South, and White Pocket. When we visited in 2023, White Pocket was the only trail that didn't require a permit, but local officials said that would be changing soon. So check the Bureau of Land Management's website before you visit. White Pocket is an incredibly beautiful area with a unique landscape unlike any other. Its rock formations are mostly made of slick rock. Over the years, these formations have been carved by wind and rain, leaving behind colorful layers of wind-swept patterns and textures. At times, White Pocket resembles the surface of another planet. The White Pocket Trail is unmarked, and BLM officials encourage visitors to explore the area responsibly. Most hikes through this area average 1.5 miles, but it can be longer or shorter based on your preference. Past hikers have named landmarks like the Lone Tree and Thor's Hammer. But White Pocket's main formation is still the center of attention. Its colors and swirls create unique patterns that leave hikers amazed. Before we move on to Coyote Buttes South, this is a reminder that Vermilion Cliffs National Monument was only a small part of our adventures through northern Arizona. We explored northern Arizona thoroughly, including Page, Monument Valley, Petrified Forest National Park, and so much more. And we provide all the details in our Northern Arizona travel guide. Visit sojournexpedition.com to check out all of our epic travel guides. Now on to Coyote Buttes South. This is a permitted hike, and these permits go through a lottery, but more on that in a bit. Coyote Buttes South has two trailheads, Paw Hole and Cottonwood Cove. I opted for the Cottonwood Cove trailhead. This road was just as bad as White Pocket, if not worse. The trail itself was nearly non-existent. After a quick half-mile hike, I found myself standing in the middle of Coyote Buttes South. Its landscape was beautiful. At first, I didn't know where to begin, so I just started walking. Buttes, teepees, swirls, and waves were spread out across the landscape. Each crevice and corner had something new. One butte even had desert bighorn living their best life. From this trailhead, the Cottonwood teepees were the main attraction, but there were other landmarks along the way, including the Wired Rocks, the Chess Queen, the Southern Wave, and many more. The entire hike took 4 hours, but it can be shorter or longer depending on how much you want to explore. When it comes to Coyote Buttes, the hike is the easy part. Getting a permit is the hard part. The Wave has become the toughest permit to acquire in Arizona. The process for the permit lottery is the same for Coyote Buttes South and Coyote Buttes North. And all lottery entries go through the rec.gov website and app. There are two lotteries you can enter. First, you can apply for the advanced lottery. The advanced lottery takes place 5 months in advance. If you want to hike Coyote Buttes in May, you'll have to win the advanced lottery in January. Each lottery entry costs $9 and applicants can choose from 3 dates. When it comes to the Wave, the advanced lottery is tough to win, and some people try for years. If you don't win the advanced lottery, you can also try the daily lottery. The daily lottery is geotagged, so you can only enter the daily lottery if you're in Page, Arizona, or Kanab, Utah. Each entry costs $9, so applying every day can add up quickly. We entered the lottery 30 different times over the course of a few months, before we finally won. Once we won the lottery, we chose our check-in location. We were staying in Kanab, so we checked in at the Kane County Office of Tourism. But Page also has a check-in location for people staying in Page. We had a quick safety briefing, followed by the rules. Then we got our permits and a very handy photo map. The next day we headed to Coyote Buttes North. The journey to Coyote Buttes North goes through House Rock Valley Road. It's a dirt road and it can get treacherous with rain and snow. Current road conditions are explained at check-in, and there are times when 4-wheel, high-clearance vehicles are required. Luckily, the weather was great, and the drive was simple. The North Coyote Buttes Trail begins at the Wire Pass Trailhead, in Grand Staircase Escalante. The path follows a dry wash for a half mile before breaking off and heading towards the buttes. The trail was well marked until we reached the wilderness area. From here, we navigated over the saddle and around rock formations to find the path. This part of the trail was a little confusing, and the map we got at check-in helped a lot. Finally, after 3 miles of hiking, we reached the Wave. It was beautiful. We explored a couple side corridors, I climbed to the top, and we took a few pictures. After 30 failed lottery attempts, this was a long time coming. Most people stop hiking once they reach the Wave, but Coyote Buttes North has much more to offer. Hiking past the Wave took us to the Swirls. This is a small, round formation named for the ridges that flow across its surface. From there, we scrambled up the rocks to top Rock Arch. This is a beautiful arch, and its location provides a bird's eye view of the entire area, including the wave. Next, we headed further south, to the dune. This area had smooth, windswept walls, with colorful patterns etched into the sandstone. Finally, we hiked over to Melody Arch in the grotto. Melody Arch is another beautiful sandstone arch, and the grotto is a covered area, with a window in the sandstone to view the surrounding wilderness. North Coyote Buttes is breathtaking, and it's a tough permit to get. But while I was hiking the West Rim Trail in Zion National Park, I ran into a BLM worker and he gave me a couple tips regarding the lottery for the wave. First, Tuesdays and Wednesdays are the least traffic days, so it's easier to win permits on those days. It's still not easy, but it can help your chances. Second, the lottery entries are significantly reduced during the winter months, so applicants have a much better chance of winning. Just remember, if you're trying to win the daily lottery during the winter, check the weather beforehand. If the weather's bad, you can hire a professional guide service. They'll drive you to the trailhead, they'll show you the landmarks on the trail, and they don't have to have a permit to do it. Just tell the BLM they're coming with you.